Good morning, WW Robinson. Today is October 10th, 2018. It's 10:10. That's the date today, 10:10. All right. I have Jaden here with me this morning. How are you, Jaden?
Good.
Good. Are you ready for a great Wednesday?
Yeah.
So this morning I came into work and I was putting my stuff away in my office. I was like, all right, what are we doing today on this Thursday? It's Wednesday. It's not Thursday. I was all excited thinking it was Friday Eve, and here it is. It's only Wednesday. All right. Tell us what is for lunch on this day one of our rotation.
Pancake, sausage patty, egg patty, diced potato, vegetable juice, ham, apples, pears, choice of milk.
All right. And to tell us about the weather, we have Nevaeh. So let Nevaeh come in front of you. Come on over here. You come right here on TV. Keep coming. Keep going. So can you tell everybody what's the weather? It is cloudy. Do you know what another word is for that cloudiness out there?
Rainy.
Rainy? Is it foggy? Yeah, it's foggy too. All right. Thank you. And we have Lucas here to lead us in the pledge. So please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, Lucas. There you go. All right, ready? Hold your flag up so we can see it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good job. All right. Please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, let's see. We have some birthdays today. Celebrating a birthday is on the 10th. We have Journey Barnes, Saren Diane, Rhett Faudre, and Dylan Sly. So happy birthday to those folks. Hope you have an absolutely wonderful birthday. We do not have any staff birthdays today. And just a reminder that if you're interested in Boy Scouts, that is tomorrow night. Sign up here at 7 o'clock. And if you're interested in the Rockin' Robin Recreation, you need to, sign up with Parks and Rec by November 2nd. And do you have any shout outs before I read this morning?
Miss Gilwin, Kayla Hudson, Michaela, Miss Olin, and Miss Rittenhouse.
All right.
And Miss Caitlin.
Okay, so this is called The First Night. The stars were out. A fire was crackling in the fire pit. Roz and Brightville were settling into their first night in their new home. This lodge is where we will live from now on. The robot plucked her son from his little woven nest and placed him on the floor. I hope you like it. The gosling did like it. He liked that it was big and warm and peaceful, and he liked knowing that the forest and the pond were just outside. He waddled around, peeping to himself and exploring every little corner of the lodge until it was time for bed. His mother carefully laid him on a soft cushion of moss, but he didn't want to sleep there, so she put him back in his little nest, but he didn't want to sleep there either. Brightville looked up and said, Mama, sit. Roz sat down. Then he said, Mama, hold. Roz held him. The robot's body may have been hard and mechanical, but it was also strong and safe. The gosling felt loved. His eyes slowly went closed, and he spent the whole night quietly sleeping in his mother's arms. The deer. The deer family did not run from the sound of snapping twigs and crunching leaves. They had heard all about Roz and Brightville, and they knew they knew there was nothing to fear. Brown Point stood before his doe and his 3 spotted fawns, and the family watched as the robot approached with the goslings on her shoulder. "Hello, dear. My name is Roz, and this is Brightville. We are looking for a doe named Tawny." Crown Point moved aside, and the doe silently stepped forward. "Mr. Beaver helped us build a lodge," said Roz, "and he thought you might help us grow a garden." "Mr. Beaver helped you," came Tawny's gentle voice. "You must have done something for the beavers." "I brought them freshly cut trees," said Roz. Tawny looked at Crown Point, and the buck slowly nodded. "I will help you grow a garden," said the doe to the robot, "if you will let my family eat from it." The robot nodded in agreement, and then she quietly led Tawny back to the nest. The garden. After inspecting the grounds, Tawny asked Roz to remove all the dried brambles and weeds and leaves from the garden area. She asked her burrowing friends, the moles and groundhogs, to dig through the dirt and loosen the soil. And then she asked all the neighbors to do something rather peculiar. "Please leave your droppings around the nest. The more droppings, the richer the soil, the healthier the garden." You know what droppings are? What do animals do outside? And then they do something gross. Yeah, so sometimes that's called fertilizer. So, as you can imagine, Tawny's request got everyone's attention. The place was soon crawling with woodland creatures, curious to hear more about the garden project. And just like that, the robot was meeting his neighbors. The plan to help her make friends was already starting to work. There was a festive feeling around the nest that day. Animals were coming and going and chatting and laughing. After some pleasant conversation, each neighbor would choose their spot, leave their droppings, and be on their way, and always with a smile. "We're happy to help," said 2 smiling weasels after finishing up their business. "It was our pleasure," said a flock of smiling sparrows before they flew away. "I shouldn't be much longer now," said a smiling turtle as he slowly made his contribution. Kind of gross. As all this was going on, Roz walked around and thanked everyone. "I am not capable of defecating," she explained, "so your droppings are most appreciated." Once the ground was fertilized, it was time for the plants. Tawny brought Roz and Brightville out to a lush meadow. The robot sank her fingers into the ground and felt the spongy layer of roots below the grass. Slowly, carefully, she rolled up wide strips of sod, exposing the dark, wormy soil. She carried the rolls back to the nest and spread them out to make a patchy lawn. Then she transplanted clumps of wildflowers and clovers and berries and shrubs and herbs until the nest was surrounded by a scraggly collection of plants. "It's not much to look at now," said Tawny, "but the grass will grow into these gaps and the flowers and bushes should perk up in a few days. I'll return soon to make sure it's all taking root. Before long, this will be a lovely wild garden." And we will stop there. So you can choose to be the kind of leader that you would follow and make it a great day. So long.